Fresh. All right, welcome to Love and Marriage here on TV Sapiens. Of course, we talk relationship, we talk singles, married. We look at everything that has to do with our relationships to make it work. My name is Oma. You're very sweet on radio and TV. I had to come in with that very hearty laughter initiated by Freshman. Freshman, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. The truth of the matter is that, when it comes to love and when it comes to marriage, the best form of it is to be happy and to express your happiness.
Exactly.
You're happy and you are expressing it as a matter of fact. There are marriages where couples don't laugh.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that that women are not funny.
Really?
Yeah. No, women are not funny.
No. Some women. Say some.
Yeah, most
because
women.
There are actually women that are very funny.
No, most women are not funny. I have to be honest with you.
Why did you say that?
You can just look at number of comedians we have, and then
there are women. There are female comedians.
Yeah, but there are few of them. That's why I say
quite a number of them.
Yeah, most women are not funny. You can just use your own marriage, for instance. Know how many times your husband makes you laugh and how many times you make him laugh. That can answer that question.
Yeah, we are funny. Yes, we are funny.
Okay.
That's why when you said women are not funny, I looked at you. I'm like,
well, I say most women. The fact is that for a woman to be funny, she has to be triggered by a man. Do you understand?
Okay, there has to be something that will make her happy.
It has to be a man to trigger.
No, not all the time. There are women, sometimes it actually comes to what we want to discuss today. Okay, so there are some people who, by themselves, they trigger their own happiness. They don't wait for another person to make them happy. For them, it's on a natural level. They are always happy. Within themselves, they found things to make them happy. Sometimes, even if you're trying to make them sad, they will decide not to be sad. There are people like that. Do you know that?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I'm talking about being funny, I do not necessarily bring in the fact that one is not happy.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
When I talk about being funny, it's more of just coming up out of his way to say something that will make everybody laugh,
But you're very good at that. I don't know, there's a way you do it. I don't know how you do it. You just say something.
Yeah.
Just say something that is so odd and the whole place will just people just burst into laughter.
Yeah.
And it will just sink in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. But the truth of the matter is that when you're actually talking about happiness, by right, happiness shouldn't depend basically on the other person.
True.
You understand? But the fact is that so many people have been, I don't know whether I'm going to say they've been groomed or they have come to believe or understand that they cannot really initiate happiness on their own, that they need someone to make them happy. If nobody is making them happy, they will definitely not be happy. They may never be happy because nobody is actually making them happy. That's why sometimes you see when a particular person in a marriage is sad, the other person becomes sad automatically because one person is infusing the happiness
of the other person. And that brings us to what we want to discuss today. We are actually looking at self-confidence. Remember from our last discussion, we talked about, we looked at ways partners test themselves. And we looked at how, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and we arrived at the conclusion that for singles, there are certain ways you can actually test your partner, but for married people, no way. If you could not, whatever it is you could not ascertain when you were still single, don't try to do that when you're married. And while discussing that, we talked about self-confidence because we come to realize that a lot of young people, even married people, most married people don't have confidence in themselves. Let's look at singles. You see somebody, he or she will be in a relationship where he or she is not valued. The person does not respect you. The person does not love you. The person would have even told you that I don't love you. This relationship cannot work. But you find people, insisting, doing all sorts of things to ensure that it works out. And it raises that question. That person, does he or she really have confidence in him or herself that if I walk out of this relationship, I can still get someone else who will value me, someone even better? So let's start with defining self-confidence. What self-confidence means. Fresh.
Yeah,
For you.
yeah. When you just talking about self-confidence, basically saying, I believe in myself.
Mm.
I believe in what I can do.
Mm.
I believe in who I am.
Mm.
I believe I can be messed up by an individual,
Mm.
and I still stick to that person.
Mm.
So self-confidence is just gathering whatever it takes within you to know that, yes, despite any odd, you can still stand erect.
True.
And so that's what I think
True.
is self-confidence. A lot of people do not have it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can really say it's from childhood. A lot of people, because of the way probably their parents brought them up, so building self-confidence becomes difficult for them. They don't have self-confidence because probably in their homes it could be the father, the father maltreating the mother, and the mother doesn't have this self-confidence, and a daughter is involved, and growing up she feels a woman shouldn't actually have self-confidence, and growing up she discovered that she doesn't have self-confidence. So, and some people there are just like that, while some other people is fear. If for instance you're talking about singles, you just say, if I allow this guy to go, will
Will
that
I get
person
another
ever come?
person?
You understand?
Mm.
And that one is another side of
Another big thing, because
Mm.
I've come to realize that there are some people who are in a relationship
Mm.
where, my goodness, I can't understand it. You see the guy, the way he describes this lady, the way he speaks to her, the way he belittles her, and yet the lady is still in that relationship.
Yeah, just like I was saying, for instance, I think I had that challenge as an individual,
Really?
growing up. I was born crippled.
Who?
Myself.
How do you mean?
I know I haven't told you the story. For 7 years, I didn't work actually.
Wow.
And I was actually sick. It's not just that I was born crippled, but I was sick. My parents were taking me from here to there, trying to. In fact, it got to a point where they went to somewhere, and the person, I don't know what I'm going to call the person, a witch doctor, told them that, look, that somebody has to die, that the man brought a stone and said one has to swallow the stone, whoever that may want to die in my place. My mother used water and swallowed the stone.
Child.
Miraculously, she's alive today. I'm still alive. Then from the story I had and from things I can remember, when people have gone out, they just confine me in a place,
Wow.
keep food for me.
Wow.
When I'm hungry, I just eat. I don't move around. For 7 years, I don't crawl, just one place.
Wow.
They carry me here. There it was on the 7th year that my parents went to farm. Coming back, they saw me walking. You understand? My legs stretched and I began to walk. So now, growing up, because the sign, I can still feel the sign in one of my legs. Now, when I entered school, I discovered that I was somehow different. One of my legs was different from every other child. And, you see sometimes the children making mockery of me. You see sometimes they don't want to play with me. So that's that time I started having this, I started losing confidence in myself. Nobody wants to be my friend. If we are going back to, if after school we are going back home, I cannot necessarily go with people because I cannot match their movement.
Okay.
So they'll prefer to go because they can't be waiting for me.
Yeah.
And growing up, I started having this feeling. For instance, even at a point when I was even telling myself which girl will even marry me.
Wow.
I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, no reasonable girl will accept to marry someone like me. You know,
Wow.
growing when I was a teenager, I was just, you know, when I started knowing that people have girlfriend and stuff. So I feel like that talking to a girl is embarrassing myself. You understand? I am not the only person that have gone through this kind of
Yeah. A lot of
situation. You
people.
know, there are people maybe because they have maybe physical ailment, they
Yeah.
have one issue or the other. Sometimes it could be family background. For instance, you see a girl that maybe she was born at home out of wedlock, or the parents separated, and now the girl may be looking at it. Are you sure somebody's going to marry me like that?
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
these are some of the things that can make somebody lose self-confidence
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
You know, you're just looking at other people. You just measure yourself and just say that
That
no,
you're not
no,
what
that you're not
up to.
that you're just trying to look at yourself like no, that you're not really like others.
First,
So
you
that
know,
you cannot have
if you've not,
what
if we're not talking about this and you shared this, I never knew. Like, of course, I wouldn't have known.
yeah,
But
I doubt if anybody is aware of that
tap
here.
into, because you're a miracle.
Yeah, I think so.
You're a miracle.
I think
Yes,
so.
you are
I
a miracle.
believe that.
And you know how God works things out. I didn't know this part of you, but you are sharing it on live TV.
Yeah.
And I think you're sharing it will inspire a lot of people out there.
I think
look
so
at
too.
you, freshman. Look at all that God has achieved through you. Am I to talk about your seminars? Am I to talk about the way you speak on love issues? Am I to talk about, you've even gone into property business.
Yeah, sure.
And am I to talk about how amazing God has been in your life? It means that, and to top it up, your wife is one of the most beautiful ever.
Yeah,
freshman's wife is actually very beautiful.
Yeah, correct.
So that means you overcame it.
Yeah, Omar. And sometimes, let me tell you the truth, sometimes it's even people around you.
Okay.
For instance, when I finished JSS3, I remembered my father calling me one day to say that, you know, going to school, even if you go to school, is anybody going to hire you? And my father, and I was actually sent to go and serve somebody in Edo State, in Benin, Edo State. The guy says electronics. So when I got there, because they carry generator, they carry fridge. So the man looked at me and was like, that look, this one, that you can't do this. You understand? So I spent some months and then I went back to village. That was when my father now said, I think the best thing is just for you to be going to school since you are intelligent. Maybe you have to just be going to school. Even if you finish school and nobody hires you, maybe God will make a way and you start doing something. So that is, so sometimes you just hear people say things, you know, they don't say it where you are now, or you are moving, people are looking at you, people are talking. You deep down inside of you, you may not. That's why some people commit suicide.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
because they may not be able to take more. They have had it enough. So when you look at people who basically maybe they are being abused, maybe they are going through a whole lot in the hand of a person, but deep down in them, they can't get another. You understand?
They're actually feeling that they cannot get another person.
Yeah, deep down inside them. But life is not like that. There is what we call grace.
Yeah.
You know, grace, the fact that a man, or rather, I've had a relationship where I was disappointed, where the girl left me because she met somebody who's better, somebody who has more money, or something like that. And well, I at that time I was hot, but you know, with time in my life, I discovered that in this life, you definitely marry somebody that has the grace, that carry the grace to marry you. That not everybody you meet can marry you. There are people will say it's just your match. You guys are just mine. But if that person doesn't have that grace, you may date the person, and at the end of the day, it won't work.
Mm.
So you're trying to force it. You're trying to make sure that it works when you know the grace is not
It's
there.
not there.
That's why we have so many broken homes today.
Mm.
You know, but there are things that I look at and I tell myself that, look, that having self-confidence is important. Because
Very, very
if I
important.
tell you, let me just quickly tell you this.
Mm.
I have seen a blind woman marrying a man with 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Whereas I have seen very beautiful girls that have gone to school, even from rich home, beautiful. When I talk about beautiful, I'm talking about class, but no husband.
Mm.
I have seen a crippled, a man who is crippled,
Mm.
got married to a woman.
Can we call them person with disabilities?
Okay,
Good.
person with disabilities.
Yeah.
You know, I have seen that.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
I have seen that. So you just discover that it's not necessarily the problem you have that defines you. What defines you is just the way you see things.
The you in you.
The you in you.
Mm.
You know, if you accept it, if you think, because at a point in my life, I just told myself, no, I am not what I think I am.
Great.
I am
And
not.
I think that was the turning point for
Yes,
you. Mm.
I just told myself, if they are doing sports, I will join them and run.
Mm.
You know, if they are playing football, I will join. They say you can't. I'll say I can.
Mm.
They'll tell me, no, you can't. You'll
Mm.
fall. I'll say, no, I can. I won't fall.
Mm.
You know, if we are doing swimming, then if we are doing swimming, I join and I swim. At the end of the day, I become the best. We're playing ball. They say I'm the best, and they're wondering how this thing happened. That was when I started having this confidence. That's when I started having this burning desire in me
to
that
do more, to
if
do
this
things,
person can do it, I can
do
also
it.
do it.
Yeah.
If this person can have this, I can also have this.
Mm.
You know, but there are people that naturally they just made up their mind that they can't.
Yeah.
You understand?
Probably self-defeated.
Yes.
They've defeated themselves by themselves. Probably as a result of what, just like you've explained, as a result of what people are telling them, what they've seen. You know, it's more like people enforcing their own frustrations on you, and you accepting it. Because one thing, people will talk. People will always talk.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you that they are talking to, are you taking that thing people are saying? Are you insisting? Because you start self-destructing when you start accepting those things people are telling you. And when you start accepting those things people are telling you, that is when you start losing your self-confidence. So for you now, like I said, we are tapping into your own miracle.
Yeah.
You know, let's look at how can a young lady, a young man, a married person gain his or her own self-confidence? Because I've come to realize that our self-confidence affects everything we do. The success you have, self-confidence.
Yeah.
Anywhere you find yourself, if you're not confident in God, confident in yourself.
Yeah.
Because confidence in God is number one. When you know that you're not the one that created yourself,
yeah,
it's
correct.
God that created you, that there's a reason why you're here.
Yeah.
That you're not an accident.
Yeah.
All right? When you know that and understand that it's God that created you, then He has made you a unique person. We are all unique. All of us individually, we are all unique individuals. Now, how can somebody unlock his or her self-confidence? Because these things are in us.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
That confidence is in us.
Oma, the truth of the matter is that, you know, sometimes when you find yourself in that kind of situation, you just discover that there's a voice that keeps tormenting you. And that voice, you wouldn't know where it's coming from, but sometimes you just think the voice is actually telling you the truth. Now, to have self-confidence or to build one is that you need to have a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, when you have a relationship with Jesus, that voice will be reduced drastically until you stop hearing it.
True.
And then you start hearing the word of God.
True.
You know, you start hearing that I can do all things. You know, you start hearing positive things. You start anchoring your faith in those positive things. And when you anchor your faith there, you just start trying it gradually. You now start seeing yourself excelling You understand? So for anyone, especially our ladies, to have self-confidence, number one is that they need to have a relationship with Christ, who is by himself self-confident.
Yeah.
Number two is that we should understand that we should try as much as possible to see life that nothing is do or die.
True.
You understand?
True. Exactly.
Nothing is do
It's
or
not
die.
a do or die
It's
affair.
not the end of life.
It's not the end of the world.
If I don't marry this girl, that doesn't mean I'm gonna die. For instance, when my ex left me, I thought the world was gonna collapse. I
Yeah.
thought I have lost the best jewel. I thought I will never get a woman. I thought there won't be marriage for me because it was by accident, you know. If you have a difference with a woman or a man, you have a quarrel or there is a problem between you and a person, and you break up with the person, it's a different thing altogether. You may likely take it that after all you have a reason, but somebody you want the best for, you have done your best to make happy, you know, share your salary, share everything you have. Your parents gave her things, your brothers, your sisters, because marriage has been pronounced. And all of a sudden, the person visited you. After visiting you, you took the person, that was around Christmas period, you took the person to the market, you bought things for her, only for her to go back, and a day later she calls you on phone to say, look, that thing will not hold again. You know, this drives one crazy.
Yeah.
You try to, in fact, I was coming, I was trying to find out what happened.
What happened? What did I do
You
wrong? Where did I
understand?
get it wrong?
What happened? Just maybe that would have been enough for me to hold myself. Just tell me what happened. Even if you're not going to come back, even if it's not going to work, but there should be something. You didn't just say you don't want again without saying something. We've gone a long way. But at the end of the day, she never said there was something, but the picture definitely came out in the sense that news, because the guy in question is from my community as well. So
are they still married now?
Yeah, they are still married.
Okay.
They are still married. Yeah, they're still married. It's just that they're still believing God for a child.
Oh, wow.
And the guy's family is having issues with her.
Oh.
But I guess the guy loves her, but they haven't come back home anymore. I pray God will give them children, as a matter of fact. So that is one of the reasons why a lot of people, some people may have self-confidence, by the point they lose it.
Yeah.
You know, when they bank all their hope, when you bank all your hope that this laptop, if you have it, you've gotten everything. If along the line you lose it, you think you've lost everything.
You've lost everything.
You understand? When you are looking at a lady, you're looking at a guy, and you think that this is just the last bus stop for you, and you have given the whole of your heart to this person. You're giving the whole of your soul and your being to this person. Now, if this person destroys you, the person destroys that trust, this person destroys that hope, you become hopeless. You understand?
And another thing I just want to add is that a lot of young women, young men, specifically young women, I think probably a young woman should find something doing. Should be busy.
Yeah.
Should be busy, because when you're busy, you have your own money. If you're going to get into a relationship, you're getting into that relationship from the position of advantage. You're coming in with something. There's something you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You're not coming in to come and eat the guy's money, in quotes. You're not coming in so that the guy will become your ATM machine, in quotes. There is something you bring to the table. Yeah, the guy is in an African setting. It's always, not even Africans. I mean, I've seen all over the world that guys should take care of the lady. Of course. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. But while the guy is taking care of the lady, it's really important that the lady should add something. You won't just relax and allow the guy to do everything.
Oma, that speaks a lot. You know, that speaks a lot about this self-confidence. The fact that lots of young women, they are not actually looking for love or relationship. They are looking for help.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Now, the reason why they have to stick to that particular person who's maltreating them, who's cheating on them, who's doing all manner of things, abusing them, is because of what they are getting from the person. That's why every young woman or even a young man should train himself, should work on himself, should be prepared for marriage.
Yeah.
You don't just enter into marriage without being prepared.
Exactly.
I remember my uncle, she has a daughter. The girl read anatomy in the university, Millennium University, where they're paying a lot of money to get her graduate from the school. Now, after she had graduated, one Benin boy that carries comb in his trouser, combing his hair with hankies, doing fine boy. Or one day came and the girl was like, "Daddy, this is the guy that wants to marry me."
And what was the guy doing? What's the guy's
handwork? That was what the uncle my uncle asked. Okay, the guy that wants to marry you, I have trained you.
Okay.
You are now a doctor. I want to now know how prepared
the guy
is. But they now said, okay, the guy should go and come back so and so day. So the day the guy was going to come back, he invited all of my uncle, invited some of us to come, that our in-law is coming.
That's a setup. That's a real setup.
So all of us came, and the guy came, and my uncle said, "She's a doctor. Who are you?"
Okay.
And the guy was like, "My father is this, my father owned the street, so and so place. It's named after my grandfather." And I asked the guy, "Do you need some drinks? If you don't need drinks, stand up and get out of here."
The guy couldn't even say what he does for a living.
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. Just his father's wealth.
Just my father.
Goodness.
There are lots of people. So most people that do not have this self-confidence because they are not prepared. You understand? Let's take for instance a working class lady who is highly educated. She's not looking bad, and a guy is trying to mess up with her. She moves on immediately. Because not as if there are people there are no people talking to her. But the simple truth there is that she's exclusively in a relationship. And she want to be exclusively the person's own as long as she's in that relationship. And she's respecting the fact that she's in a relationship. But for some guys, they think she isn't getting suited because she's not talking about it. So a situation where the guy behaves anyhow, a situation where the guy starts feeling like a king, she moves on without even knowing it.
Let me tell you something. Do you know sometimes when guys are dating women who bring something to the table? What do I mean? Women who are career women, all right? A career lady, a lady, even if it's not a white collar job, maybe a lady who is a designer, a tailor, but a lady who runs a business or a lady who does something.
Yeah.
Do you know they treat that person differently?
The truth of the matter is that basically one must not be educated to be prepared for marriage. True. But naturally men don't joke. They don't, let me use the word, mess around. They don't, excuse me, they don't mess with women that has financial stature. Financial stability. Yeah. You understand? And that's why check.
And even although even when some men try to mess up with them, it's just for some time. Although I've seen a lot of women, there are women who are falling victim. These are women who, they are financially stable. Somehow they fall victim
into the hand of a man who raped the money.
Yes.
Yeah. So that person actually had bad intention, and the lady wasn't intelligent enough. I went for a program.
She wasn't sensitive enough. Yeah. She didn't really see it coming.
The truth of the matter, the problem with many young women is love. That's their problem. You don't love somebody you're not married to. I keep saying this. I went to a program. I was telling people, so you don't see a man and love a man. You don't see a woman and love a woman. You can appreciate this person. There are things about this person you like. And so on. Yeah. But when it comes to loving the person to an extent that You can't sleep if this person doesn't call you on phone. You should be married to the person.
Mm.
Because there may come a time when this person will never call you for life.
Mm.
You see that? So if you check men who maltreat their wives, men who beat their wives, check the women. Most times, these women, after their husband had finished beating them, they still wait for their husband to come back home and give them transport money to go back to their father's house.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
But a woman who can match her husband financially, men don't joke with such women if they are married to them. For instance, I have a friend in Federal Housing here. His wife is actually a bank manager with the UBA.
Mm.
You understand? If they are watching this now, they know it's not a hidden story.
Mm.
And one day, he was having exchange of words with his wife, and he went and beat the woman.
Mm.
The woman left the house they built in housing here, went and paid for another duplex, bought a brand new car, left the cars in the house, bought 2 brand new cars with our official cars. And within a short time, the man became hungry.
So it was actually the man. I mean, it was the woman
Yeah,
that was bringing the money needed in the house.
Well, the truth of the matter is that the man trained the woman in the university.
Okay.
The man trained the woman, and the man was doing business in the building. But because the business was flourishing, because money for feeding was coming from the woman.
Okay.
Maintenance at home.
Wow.
You understand? Everything, clothes. You know, after 1 year that the woman wasn't doing this, because the man had been the one spending. You understand?
Yeah.
Bills like NEPA bills and all of these things. So by the time the man has spent some money, it started affecting his business. And he started begging everybody, including myself, to go talk to his wife. And you go, the woman will say, I'll come back, but not now.
Has she come back?
Well, since this year, I haven't seen them. Because the man told me that he wants to sell everything he has and travel abroad before he will die here.
Oh my goodness.
You understand?
You know, this self-confidence we are talking about, the man needs it. The woman needs it. The guy needs it. The lady needs it. Because it's actually when you have confidence, first of all, in God, confidence in yourself, then you know that you don't really need to hit your lady. You know that as a lady, you don't have to wait for a man to raise his hand on you.
Yeah.
For you to know that you should not be in that relationship. There are better ways to resolve issues instead of going violent.
Yeah.
There are better ways to sort things out when you're in a relationship, when you're married, instead of resorting to violence. You know, because when people build this self-confidence in them, knowing that God has created me to do something, I can do this. Even if this person leaves me, I can still see another person. And another thing I realized is that when somebody meets someone, for single people, to them, this is my bus stop. This is my final.
And if for instance, another thing is that there are people that have had terrible experiences in the past. Are you getting me? She has dated this person. She has dated the Yoruba guy. Yoruba guy disappointed her. She tried the Igbo guy disappointed her. She tried the Hausa guy disappointed her. And somebody came. Now what happened? She discovered this person is cheating. That's why a lady will tell you that every guy she has to just
cheat.
take.
Let me
just take to this particular person.
Because if I leave, who knows the next person that will come.
You understand? In the side of the guy, just like you said, you know, self-confidence is not basically a woman's thing.
Yeah.
It's everybody. There are guys that do not have self-confidence. For instance, you see some guys that I know a guy who started crying in the church one day when a lady's wedding was announced.
Why?
This guy loves this lady, was doing things for her, but never had the courage
to
walk up to her and say, I like you. I would want us to date. I would want to marry you. Lady on her own cannot. The lady likes the guy. In fact, when the lady was talking, she said she loves the guy. And if that guy had opened mouth, she would have grabbed it.
And she actually waited for him to say
for
something.
a long time.
And he didn't say anything.
The guy would drop her off. They'll come to church. She inquire. The guy will wait for her to finish rehearsal. The guy will just drive into the church and wait for her to finish rehearsal. He would take her home. Sometimes the guy will buy her shoes. But this guy
never said anything. What kind of thing is
not
that?
Even a compliment. Not
My
even
goodness.
You look good.
So what was he waiting for? Why was he delaying?
So for him, he's not a woman kind of person. And I don't know whether he was expecting the lady to come to him. And that day, the man of God announced that so and so people will be wedding a few months.
That would be very heartbreaking.
And the guy began to weep. And the guy was like, you can't do this to me. What to you? Have you said something? So if you look at that, it's self-confidence. It's not as if this guy doesn't have this thing in mind, but his problem is, how do I tell her? According to the lady, sometimes the guy will tell her, there is something I would like to tell you. And then by the time she starts asking the guy, what is that thing? What is that thing? You see, the guy will tell me something. The guy said, don't worry, nothing. There is nothing.
And he was busy wasting time.
Was wasting time. Somebody came and made that move. Someone that has confidence. You understand? So basically, there are ladies that, for instance, there are ladies probably because you're not a rich guy. You understand? You're a guy. You know that maybe your salary is 50,000 or 30,000, and you're seeing the lady, she's driving a car, and you don't have a car. Without knowing that, you may talk to her and she will accept. For me, when I was single, I really don't find it difficult to talk to her. The first thing, I will just make up my mind that it's either she says yes
or no. Simple.
If she says no, it will not change anything. It will not remove anything from me.
Not at all.
And what I'm very, very sure of is that she will not beat me and she will not lock me up.
And the most important thing is to be polite.
I will respect her.
Respect her.
And
respect her boundaries. Be polite.
Tell her what I have in mind. If forced into her heart to accept it, fantastic. But if he doesn't, I will continue my journey until somebody that my love rests upon. And that person will say yes. And that was exactly what happened to me. So many guys, we're talking about self-confidence, just that sometimes you see guys bragging. There are guys among their friends, they'll be bragging. Do you know how I talk to that girl? But when they see the girl, they will become ice water. They can't talk to her. There are guys that they don't have the self-confidence to solve problems. Women problem. That's why they are resort to beating a woman. Because if you have solution to the problem, for instance, as I am here now, if my wife insults me or shouts on me, I have a solution to that. My solution is not to beat her. My solution could be to leave her, walk into the room, pick up my Bible, and start reading. And if she tries to talk to me, I'll say, please, I am studying the Bible. She knows she has offended me, but I'm studying the Bible. And I'm lying there in the room, studying the Bible, not in our bedroom, rather in another room, but I'm reading the Bible. And when you're studying the Word, you don't need somebody to distract you. But deep down inside of her, I never planned to study the Word. So she will feel tormented. You see her coming from the kitchen with food. You say, no, I don't want to eat. I'm reading. I'm studying the Word. So forget about the food. And she wanted to eat. So this is a solution.
Yeah.
You understand? By the time, at the end of the day, you resolve that issue, she won't like to get you in that mood again. Yeah. You understand? So this is having a solution to the problem and not hitting her, because hitting her is like using fire to quench fire. You understand me? So when we talk about confidence, it's not just, I have seen a guy, the girlfriend, he is very much aware that the girlfriend is dating 2 other guys and even sleeping with them. But he still stick to her. Why? Because he thinks that no other girl can have sex with him the way the lady gives it to him. And he sticks there. He doesn't want to let go. So if you look at some of these things, you just discover that a lot of people, their problem is this self-confidence. And in the side of women, it's predominant in the sense that, naturally a woman can wait for a long time.
Waiting for the man.
You
Even though
understand?
things are changing right now because women are shooting their shots right now.
Things are changing, but a woman shooting her shot most time misses the target. For instance, now tell me, how many guys, let's just take this our company, Sapientia here. Let's just take Sapientia for instance. How many guys here that a beautiful lady will go to and say, I love you, I want us to be friends? How many guys who doesn't feel the same way would genuinely say, I don't feel that way, I won't have anything to do with you? Ladies can do that. Naturally, if a lady doesn't feel something, if you tell her that, the highest she will do is to tell you, I'll think about it, how she will withdraw from you. But it is difficult for a guy to say no to a lady. You understand? I was talking with my friends. I told them, I said, they are a committee of friends for somebody's wedding. So they said they want me to talk to them with some of them were married, some of them are yet to get married. So I was not telling them, I said, look, that when it comes to, I've forgotten what I actually wanted to say. I think I was talking about, what was I just talking about now? Remind me.
Precious.
The thing just got out of my mind.
Okay, all right. Let's just move along. Okay, because I think we should be wrapping it up. On the program. All right. So, how can we encourage young women, young men, married singles to build this self-confidence?
Yeah, building self-confidence starts with the fact that you, on your own, you should have a mentor.
Yeah.
You should have a mentor. And
someone that you look up to.
And
right?
who is this your mentor? Your mentor may not necessarily be someone you meet physically or someone you know personally. Your mentor can be a white man who is in America and you are here. But you have seen how successful this person's marriage is. How successful this person's business is. If you have the chance to talk with this person, the person is going to tell you his or her ups and downs.
Yeah, true.
Just like I just told you my story now, and you were shocked.
Yeah, I was.
I never behaved that way. I never talked about it before. That's why you were shocked.
Yeah.
But there are people that probably
I was shocked and inspired at the same time.
Okay.
That you can overcome these things and be the person that you are.
Today.
That means that God, you are here for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you're here.
But there are people that probably they have listened to me on radio, they've watched me on TV, they've met me maybe one-on-one, and deep down in them I was born with a golden spoon. True. It's just been rosy.
Smooth,
it's
rosy.
Just been rosy.
I stumbled upon something on LinkedIn. A worker with Tony Elumelu, the owner of UBA, she wrote something about UBA chairman. She said that when the man became the manager of a particular bank when he was 26 years old, that he took his time to learn every aspect of banking. And these were people that are under him. But he will humble himself, go to them to learn things about teller, cashier, everything. That's why he was able to know everything about banking.
Yeah.
That if you look at UBA right now, the way it is booming, I read it today. She now said something. She said that some CEOs, when they are telling you about their story, they will leave out all those places where they suffered. Nobody wants to share all those stories. But nobody became successful overnight.
Yeah, without going through some
overnight success. So for people who think that, overnight you're just going to succeed. It doesn't happen that
No,
way.
it doesn't happen at all. It doesn't happen at all. It's just that a lot of people do not like talking about their negative experiences, kind of maybe what they've gone through, But if you have a mentor, you find time to talk with a person.
Yeah.
You find time. most successful men have experienced heartbreak. Heartbreak can come from anything.
From anything and from anywhere.
It's not only a woman that
Yeah.
can break your heart. You understand? Some people have experienced heartbreak because of loss of loved one. Some have experienced heartbreak because of loss of money. Accident and so on and so forth. So if you have a mentor, this is somebody you are looking up to, and you know that this person has gone through it all, yet the person is still bubbling. So you'll be ready to go through it all and still come out the other side and say, yes, I made it. That is what self-confidence are about. So one is having a mentor. Number two is planning your life.
True.
You understand? A lot of people without self-confidence, most of them don't plan. They don't have plans. What they just do is whatever happens.
Whatever comes.
You understand?
Anything goes.
You understand? Because a lady who plans her life knows that she has been in a relationship for 2 years. On the third year, if that guy doesn't make the move in marriage, she walks away. That's planning.
And again, a lady should know that if I'm exclusive in this relationship, that does not mean that I cannot keep friends.
Yeah.
I cannot have other people that I talk to.
Yeah.
Because this person, even a guy should know that you're exclusive in a relationship with someone does not mean that you don't have other people that you talk to.
It's part of the building. So now, after I have talked about mentorship,
planning,
after I talked about planning, the next one, what you just mentioned, is that you need to be social. And you need to socialize.
True.
Now, one of the ways to build self-confidence is to socialize with people,
Yeah.
especially those that have self-confidence. If you are a withdrawn kind of person, you suffer your problems all alone. But when you socialize with people, you find yourself sharing your problems with them. So whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, for you to have self-confidence, you must definitely socialize with people. The next one is that you must study. You must learn. You must get educated. You understand? Getting educated is not going to university to get a degree. Read. Study books.
Yeah.
You understand? When you read
inspirational books, motivational books,
stories,
self-help books.
You understand?
Books that will share. For example, this story you just shared right now, if you put it, I don't know, you've not tried to put it in a book.
No, I haven't. I haven't even said it on radio.
I'm hearing it for the first time.
You're actually the first person hearing it as long as Sapiencia is concerned.
Wow.
I think it's just because of what we are discussing.
Yeah.
I don't wake up and walk up to somebody
and
start sharing the story.
Let me tell you, do you know, in fact, I'm saying it on live TV right now, this particular story you just shared right now will come out as a self-help book, a motivational and inspirational. Please don't keep it to yourself.
No,
because that's a miracle.
Yeah.
Please, it should be your next book.
Yeah.
It's a miracle, and people need to hear this. Because when someone reads it, God allowed you to go through it so that He can use you. When someone reads it, that person will know, I can actually overcome. I can be better. I can be more than this.
Yeah.
And that person will, first of all, trust God, because we did not fall from the skies.
You're correct.
All of us on earth, we are all created by God. We are created for a reason, for a season. For such a time like this, there is a season, there's a reason. And people should also understand that you're not an accident.
Not at all.
You're not an accident. So there are certain things you shouldn't allow. Knowing that there's a reason why I'm here. I'm here to fill a vacuum. I'm here to fulfill a mandate. I'm here to do something for God. And God has imbued in me all that I need to get these things going. When we understand these things, it will be a lot more easier and better for us to build our self-confidence. So we still have more time.
Yeah, I think it's just 9 minutes before 7,
Okay.
before 8
Before
p.m.
8.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we should be wrapping it up on the program.
Yeah. Okay. Well, another way to build one's confidence, maybe we'll just conclude with that, is prayers.
Good.
You know, you need to pray. You need to ask God. There are certain situations where a man or woman may find himself, the person will be completely broken. So in that brokenness, you need Christ, you need God to give you the strength. You understand? Strength is self-confidence. You need God. So prayers, we cannot overlook that fact. We cannot overlook prayers. So you need to pray. You need to seek the face of God. You need to talk to God. You need to talk to God about it. So prayer is very, very important. And another way to build self-confidence is to forgive. Forgive those that have wronged you. Don't hold on to grudge. Don't hold on to anger. Don't hold on to temper. Let them go. Then move ahead and don't look back. I think that's just it. Boldness is another way. Confront the problem.
Yeah, confront it.
Hiding about.
Yeah,
just
confront it. Face it. And another thing I found that I realized about problems is that when you confront that thing that is confronting you, that thing will no longer confront you.
Yeah.
Just like people who bully others. A bully, when you stand up to a bully, the bully will stop bullying you.
Yeah.
But the bully is able to bully you simply because you've not stood up to him or her. Once you stand up to that person who is bullying you, that person who thinks that the world revolves around him or her, honestly, the person will leave you.
Yeah.
So confront your problems.
So confront it, and if you're going to have self-confidence, leave excuses alone.
Yeah.
Pity doesn't happen in man.
True.
What do I mean by excuses? You're telling people stories and you're saying it's because of my mother was responsible why I didn't go to school. My father was this, my uncle caused this, why I am poor is because of this, because I cannot walk well, because one of my hand is not moving fine, that's why. So giving excuses up and down. When you start giving excuses, what do you even get from people? The highest you can get is
pity.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's actually a fake one.
But definitely. It's just for you to go, So
confront your challenges.
But you drop excuses and then confront that problem. True. Be bold enough to face it.
True.
It will collapse on your behalf.
Definitely.
That's the way it is.
Definitely to collapse. Yeah. That is just the way it is. Thank you so much for joining us today on Love and Marriage. And today's program was really, really specific. I know that we talked to a lot of people and we know that people will take the right kind of decisions. I have been Oma, your very sweetheart on radio and TV. And of course...
Yeah, I'm Freshman, and I think just the last word I'm going to tell you tonight is that if I can walk at 7, you can still walk. You too can walk. Bye-bye.
Bye.